What's the lean here? And Duke and Virginia. And yeah, one of these teams is going to be in the college football playoff. And I say, why?
So it's funny because I like both of these teams coming into the year, but I like them to win like 7-8 games, right? Both of them to go over their win total. I bet Virginia over 6.5 wins, and I bet Duke. But I thought Clemson and Miami were the teams to beat. I thought Clemson would be here, and I thought that they would win this game and then go to the college football playoff. And I was wrong. What a weird year. I like Duke. So the number actually tonight moved from 2.5 to 3.5. Money coming in on Virginia, which makes sense. Virginia's the better team. They got 10 wins this season. Chandler Morris, what a great pickup in the portal at the quarterback position. Strong run game. The defense has been solid. And man, Tony Elliott, I didn't think he had it in him, but a 10-win season. I like Duke, though, to cover the number, man. Anything over a field goal. The only issue with Duke, it's the same thing I talk about every week. They're going to outgain Virginia most likely. They're going to outgain every opponent. When they get into the red zone, though, can they capitalize? Or are they going to settle for field goals? And are they going to turn the football over? But I think Mensah's going to have himself a day against the secondary. I like Duke to cover here and most likely win outright. So that would be my bet here.
I'm not remotely stunned by your lean there with the Dukies. I mean, you've been doubling up, quadrupling up on them all season long. So I think it was minus 10,000. You're going to recommend the Blue Devils here, plus a 2.5. I kind of like Virginia. Again, because the EPA data is pointing me that way. Virginia is top 50 in EPA offense and top 40 in EPA defense. Where is Duke? Well, they're top 40 in offense, but they're 87 in EPA per play defense. They're playing for a spot in the college football playoff. They're number 87 in EPA per play defense. It's just outlandish to me. 34-17 is the projection, or actually that's what Virginia won by earlier this season, back on November the 15th, the first time these two teams played. Now, College Football Graphs agrees with your sentiment, as they have a projection of 26.9 to 24.3 advantage Virginia. I think Virginia's got to cover the 2.5. I will lay it just to spite you in some way, because I've lost too much money on Duke throughout the year, and this will be the time you're 100% right. So congratulations to you. Let's go with the Big Ten. Far more meaningful game, and one I will watch every second of. Major anticipation around this, because this is kind of a prove-it game for Indiana, right? Against the vaunted Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State's laying 5.5. 49.5 is the over-under. What do you make of this one? You're still picking Julian Sayin, which suggests to me that you're leaning Brutus in this equation. But does the Buffalo? I don't even know what the Bison's name is from Indiana. Do you? Do you think the Hoosiers can keep this thing close and cover the 5.5? What are your thoughts on the Big Ten title?
I definitely think they can, and I think they could win this game outright, right? Cignetti's the real deal as a head coach. We talk about Indiana's offense because Mendoza's the favorite to win the Heisman, but their defense is also a top 10 defense, man. And I really like what they do on the defensive side of the ball, making life difficult for opposing quarterbacks, rotating their safeties. But still, it's just like Ohio State. I think they're the best team in the country. Turns out Matt Patricia is one of the better defensive coordinators in the nation. Caleb Downs is the best safety. They have a legit pass rush. And on the offensive side of the ball, like, everybody loved Jeremiah Smith coming into the year. He hasn't even been their best wide receiver. And he's awesome. Don't get me wrong. He's a nightmare matchup. But they're getting healthy, too. Ohio State, Tate was injured. Smith was hurt. They both came back last week against Michigan. They're only going to be healthier in this matchup. I don't love the number. I think it should be closer to 4. So as far as power ratings, my number would scream bet Indiana. This could be a field goal game, or they could win it outright. But I just don't like betting against Ohio State this year. I did it last year in the national title game with Notre Dame, and bad decision. So I'm going to lay it here with Ohio State.
And I'm not going to bet against Indiana. I'm going to take a straight up on the money line. I think they pull off the upset. I think they somewhat shock the world. A lot of people, saying, they may be competitive, but they're not going to win this thing. Ohio State's just, off the tracks, runaway steam engine. And I get it, because they have a number of pros on the offensive side. They got maybe the greatest wide receiver core in the history of college football with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. Julian Sayin's not too shabby as well. It's why he is a front runner for the Heisman. But so is Mendoza. And what I'm impressed with, too, is Indiana really flies the football on defense. They got speed. They got ball hawks. They can plunge holes in run coverage. They can hang tough on the back end defensively with that dynamic duo on offense at the wide receiver position for Ohio State. And Indiana's top 5 in EPA per play offense and defense. So is Ohio State. Is it worth 5.5 points? Hell no. I agree. The best play is Hoosiers plus the points. But I'm the CEO of Team Huevos, mi amigo. And I say Indiana wins straight up. And they will be the team to beat in the college football playoff this year. And maybe we'll have a rematch of these two teams in the process for the national title game. Oh, I would love to see that as a Big Ten enthusiast. Let's go to the Big 12. BYU, Texas Tech. Massive line in this one. It opened as Red Raiders guns way up, minus 12.5 with an over-under at 50.5. What's your take on BYU and Tech?
I'm going to bet BYU, but I'm going to wait because it just went up to 13.5, and I think there's a good chance maybe we could get 2 whole touchdowns, 14 points with BYU. I think Texas Tech wins. I think they go to the playoff. I think they could win a playoff game with that defense, with Morton back fully healthy now finally, Baron Morton, their starting quarterback. They spent a lot of money to go all in on this team. But BYU, man, I've been sleeping on them all year. A lot of people have. They can run the football, and they got a solid defense, a top 20 defense. So I'll roll with them to keep this game close. I didn't know what they were going to be this year with Bachmeier only being a true freshman, but they've been solid. I like BYU to cover.